If you are a regular user of the Burp extension Stepper, as I am, you will have noticed that recent updates from Portswigger to Burp have caused this extension not to work. So here in my Burp extensions list, if I try to enable Stepper, nothing happens. The tab does not appear. I cannot use the extension, despite the fact that that extension still appears in the BAP store. It doesn't work. I'm not sure exactly what the breaking changes were. I think this extension may have been built on the old API, so that may have something to do with it. I haven't looked into it. The developer, I believe, has archived that Git repo, so this extension is dead and will no longer work. It will never work again. Now, luckily, a concerned Burp user has made an alternative known as Stepper NG, which you can find right now just on its GitHub page, which is available here, and of course I'll link it in the video as well. And this is actually a great extension because it's not just a modern replacement for Stepper, it also offers a number of improvements that I think you will probably find a great utility in. So right now, to enable this extension, you have to download the actual release from the GitHub page, which is easy enough to do, so I'm not going to show myself doing it. I've already done it. So let's go to my installed extensions list, and we'll unload the original Stepper. We'll load in the new Stepper. And you can see immediately that my Burp instance is populated with a new tab. And you'll notice that the interface looks a little bit different than the old Stepper. In my opinion, this is actually a huge improvement in many ways, which is quite nice, as you will see. So this is going to be a video series because there are actually so many new features and use cases for this extension that I thought it would make sense to break it up into separate videos as opposed to having one very long one. So in this initial video, we're just going to look at the classic Stepper flow using Stepper NG. And we're going to do that, as I've been doing, using Portswigger's Gin and Juice Shop, because it has a really simple, straightforward example for where there is a workflow, that is, there are multiple linked requests. There's one request that has some previous dependency from another request and response, and we're going to look at how you can automate that workflow to make testing easier using Stepper NG. So already I've captured the appropriate requests in my proxy history. Those important requests are these two login requests. The first one is to get the login page, and the second one is to send the actual request, the actual login request. And what is a challenge in this login request, let's say we want to play around with sending different username payloads here. The challenge is that there is a CSRF token that I believe it is a one-time use. So once we use it, we can't repeat that request. We can't send it again without retrieving a new CSRF token. A very classic impediment to just resending repeater requests, which you can solve with any number of tools, but Stepper NG is a great tool to automate this, to make this a little bit easier. So in order to make this easier to do, and first I'm actually just going to send this repeater request, this login request to repeater to demonstrate why we need to set up some type of automation. If I send the request here, we see that we have a invalid CSRF token response, indicating that we need to refresh that token. Now, the painful way of doing that would be taking this GET request, which I will send to repeater, and seeing that we get that CSRF token generated in the response here. The painful way of doing this would be copying that value, going back to our tab, pasting that in, and then trying a new test case here, sending it, seeing that it works, and then of course you send it again, and our token is revoked, it's invalidated because we already used it, so we go back to the request. We're not going to do that, right? We're going to automate this workflow so it's a little bit easier, it's a little bit nicer to play around with in repeater, and of course you can do this across other tools in Burp as well, but we're just going to show a really simple example in repeater here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the request that actually obtains this token, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go to extensions, Stepper NG, and what we're going to do is create a new sequence here, and I'm going to call this get CSRF. Of course, you can name it anything. I click OK, and you'll see that we have this little notification bubble over at the Stepper NG tab, so I'm going to navigate there now. And you'll see that we have a new sequence, get CSRF, and it has one request and response pair, this get request to the login, and there are a number of additional UI elements that appear here. We're not going to look at all of them in this video, so I'll just try to draw your attention or your focus to what I'm manipulating right now, and that is this request and this response. And if you look to the top left, you'll see that we can run this specific step. So I can click that, and that will send this request again, and we will get a new response, which can be useful for testing our steps in this workflow. But all we want to do here is extract the value of that CSRF token. So let's find it in the response. I'm going to go to the search tab or the search bar, and I'm going to search CSRF. And you can see it has actually 2 appearances. I think we just need the first one. I can't remember why we get 2 values, but I think we just need the first one. So we'll focus on that right now. And what Stepper NG comes with is a really great convenience feature for automatically grabbing a value from a response through generation of regular expression automatically. So if I highlight this value and then go down to the bottom, just below the response here, and click auto regex, that is going to pop up this window here, which lets us give our variable name. So I'm going to call it CSRF, and it also creates a regular expression for us. Now, I looked at the code that generates this regular expression, and it's not super robust. It is not using an existing library that has been designed and battle tested for the generation of regular expressions. So with that in mind, I think that this is a good place to start in generating a regular expression, but it's not going to get you a perfect match. I think the way it works is that it will match the first result in a response, and I think that'll work for us with this regular expression here. And we can, of course, always test that here by copying this. I'm going to click OK for now to create that variable, but copying it, going to the search field, enabling our regular expression search in Burp, and searching for that value and seeing that, yes, we do indeed get multiple matches here. But because this matches the first one by default, I think that's going to be okay. But you might have cases where you actually have to refine the regular expression. Traditionally, what I've done is use, look around assertions in regular expressions. I'm not going to cover those here. You can learn about those probably from many different sources. So I just wanted to point that out. But for a quick and easy regular expression generation that matches our use case here, that works great. And now we have a single request and response. And normally what I would do, or normally what you would do in Stepper to get this working in Repeater, I think you would require a few other steps. But Stepper NG comes with this published capability. So we can publish a variable here. And then the way that that works is if we reference that variable somewhere else globally in Burp, then it will invoke this workflow to generate a new value of that variable. So the only request and response we need are the ones that are required to get the value of this variable. So I can click published here, and then if I right click on this variable, you'll also see some other additional conveniences that are added to Stepper NG via this right click context menu. You can see we can also copy many of these values here, including the global variable reference. It doesn't say global, but it contrasts here with the in sequence reference. But I want to use this in Repeater outside of the sequence, so I need to copy this first one. And now all I need to do is go back to Repeater and go to my post request and copy that variable value in place of the static value here in Repeater and click send, and we should see that that works. Look at that. Isn't that great? And if I click send again, it will work again. And if you want to see what's happening in the background, all you need to do is go to Logger. And as you can see here, when I invoke, each time I invoke the Repeater request, it first, in order to generate the value of that variable, causes the Stepper workflow to run. And so this workflow here runs that initial request to get the CSRF token. If I search for that CSRF token and grab the first value, this value here is probably what we're going to see sent in that subsequent post request. And sure enough, it is. So that's a very basic use case for Stepper NG. Many conveniences compared to Stepper, and also many additional capabilities which we will explore in the subsequent videos.